Howdy and welcome to Wednesday's lab. We are going to be writing a 5-paragraph practice essay today in lab, drawing on all the skills you've been practicing over the last 9 weeks. And really, hopefully, it's getting easier with just following the basic 5-paragraph essay structure to formulate a beautiful idea for a reader. In this discussion today in class, we'll have talked about which of the stories from Writing Down the Bones that you are interested in writing about. For this discussion and for the essay, you'll be choosing one of the stories in your book, Writing Down the Bones, and just picking one that you think is really fun or insightful or that taught you something interesting or got you thinking, right? That's how we pick essays or ideas, is we think about what inspires us and then we kind of go with it. Whenever something is inspiring to us, there's a lot of energy there and we really want to partake. And so for this particular discussion, you're going to choose one chapter or story from Writing Down the Bones, and you're going to write a 5-paragraph essay in response to why you picked it and how you relate to it. Your essay must have a point or a thesis. It's really important for your readers so they understand why you're writing it. For example, you can say, this story relates to me because of blank, blank, and blank. Or this story taught me blank, blank, and blank. So a good example of this is the story Trust Yourself. In the story Trust Yourself by Natalie Goldberg, she writes about the importance of giving your writing time to settle down. And sometimes that means writing something and not looking at it for a period of time. She teaches us that we have to learn to trust our mind and to trust our own writing process. And so an example for that story would be, for example, the story Trust Yourself relates to me because of trust, faith, and process. Or this story taught me to trust in my mind, to have faith in the writing process, and to be patient. That would be an example of a thesis for the story Trust Yourself. And then in my body paragraphs, I would talk about those 3 things. Remember, that's how we structure our thesis as we're starting out as maybe not quite beginner writers, but beginning college writers, making sure we keep the structure and form with our thesis, and then we unpack it in our actual essay. So one handout that is going to be super useful that you should have filled out for this discussion before you even jump into your 5-paragraph essay is from the handout that I gave you in your reading packet, and that is graphic organizers for essays. Some of you guys used it on your timed writing number 1 with Helen Keller or Malcolm X, depending on which of the readings you guys picked. And so I'm going to pull the graphic organizer out so you can see it. Okay, and so I'm talking about this wonderful packet. This is our little reading packet. I'm just opening it up to one of the handouts. Let's see if it's in here. Oh, yeah, it is. So there's several different graphic organizers. One of them looks like this. There's also, let's see if I have one on the back. Oh, there's one that does kind of outline structure. It looks like this. So you're going to choose one of those graphic organizers and you're going to fill it in for a potential 5-paragraph essay prior to actually trying to write this essay. So again, if you're wondering what I'm looking for this essay, I'm looking for structure. So 5 paragraphs long, a beginning, middle, and end, at least 1.5 pages typed. You're typing it on here. A solid summary of the story that you pick, your thesis, detail and description, quoting from the piece, making sure each paragraph flows from one to the next. If you're not sure about transitions, you can just hop on to good old Google and you can type in transitions. Transitions are super useful. You can go to any kind of writing center online and they'll give you a whole list of transitions you can use. There's lots of different kinds of transitions. This will go over it for you. So here's some right here. Those will help you flow from one paragraph to the next. And that's what I'm looking for this discussion. Make sure that you're editing it and that you're looking at it beforehand before you turn it in. Again, this is a practice one. You're going to post your 5-paragraph practice essay on here and share it with other people. You can hop on there and give someone else feedback, give them some advice, or just talk about something you found interesting in their essay, because I'm sure they wrote something that you're like, that's pretty interesting, that's pretty neat, and you can respond to that. So again, for this particular discussion, you are going to use brainstorming and your graphic organizer to help you formulate your 5-paragraph practice essay. Remember, practice, practice, practice. This is how we get better at writing. It doesn't happen by osmosis or by some miracle. It happens through kind of hard work and just practice. Don't worry about questioning yourself. Just keep going forward. Trust your mind and your abilities and see what happens. Take that risk. Call me or call Kendra over or ask your neighbor if you have a question, but please stay focused and do not distract others because other people are trying to learn.